This is the Ricochet Report. The Ricochet Report.
Welcome to the Ricochet Report, the show that talks everything and anything firearms. I'm your host, Brad. Today's episode is brought to you by Walker Defense Research. We've talked about them many times. They make innovative products that are going to help you get faster behind your gun while maintaining your accuracy. They make everything from comps for 9mm, 5.56, 7.62. They make these awesome silicone carbide M-lock slots that we were actually meeting out. We hung out with Drew at SHOT Show, and he was showing us some of the latest designs in those, and they're really cool. I can't wait to get my hands on some. And they have another project that's in the works. So you could, they're teasing it on their Instagram. You could check that out. All that you could check out walkerdr.com. Use the discount code Ricochet at checkout to save some money on your order. Today's episode is also brought to you by Steel Valley Casting. Steel Valley Casting, awesome bullet caster, right out of PA. If you're on the East Coast, and if you're not, he ships, which is awesome too. Steel Valley Casting is the latest sponsor of the Ricochet Report. And if you need to get if you load, right? If you do your own reloads and you need some bullets, he makes the bullets. And if you need full ammo like I do, because I don't reload, he makes full ammunition too. So you can get all of that available from him. Again, use the code Ricochet at steelvalleycasting.com and you'll save 10% on your order. Ricochet Report has officially made Steel Valley Casting the only bullets that I will shoot out of my guns now. So that's really cool. So head over to Steel Valley Casting, head over to Walker DR, use the codes Ricochet. You'll save some money on your order. Without further ado, today's episode, I have my buddy Nick on the show. Nick's going to tell you all about himself. Nick, why don't you take it away? Welcome to the show.
Yo, thanks. Thanks for having me. I'm nothing special. My name is Nick Malou. Prior United States Marine Corps ground radio maintenance, West Code 2041. I worked with radio communications, maintenance, stuff like that. Didn't really do anything much. Never deployed. Got out on medical leave, and then went to school. Got a bachelor's Homeland Security, master's Homeland Security. And then made my way over to, somehow found my way over to Trinity Training Complex and began teaching with you and Chris and everyone. So that's basically how my life has been going in the past couple of years.
No, that's awesome, man. And to say you're a nobody or whatever is absolutely insane. The knowledge you bring to Trinity is awesome. First off, thank you for your service. Secondly, something that you have as far as radio operations and equipment goes is something that I think is very lack thereof on a lot of people's parts. And it's something that's extremely important that they learn. So the fact that you bring that set of knowledge and skills with you is extremely important. I actually didn't know about your master's. I knew about your bachelor's in Homeland Security, but your master's, that's pretty cool. Way to stay dedicated to it, because fucking hated school.
Oh no, I basically only took the master's course because I was told I could get it within a year and a half. And COVID happened, like the pandemic happened. So I literally had nothing else better to do because there was a hiring freeze. So I was like, all right, I'm bored out of my mind. I'm going to go get my master's degree. That's how I got it. I was bored.
Fair enough. I mean, listen, again, it's still dedication to the cause. That's a good problem to have, to get bored, to get a master's in Homeland Security. So that's pretty solid. So what we're going to be doing on today's episode, Nick and I are going to be recapping SHOT Show 2023. And if you listen to the full episode, at the end of the episode, we actually have a giveaway, a whole bunch of stuff down here right in front of our Trango Systems enemy, who's keeping, Overwatch on this episode. And we're going to tell you how you can possibly win some cool stuff that we picked up at SHOT Show and some other bonus stuff that we're throwing into this giveaway as well. So that's going to be really cool. So the way this episode is going to work is I actually have I had Becca, my fiance, following us around throughout SHOT Show, and she took a whole bunch of videos, and I edited these videos, and some are horizontal and some are vertical and some are pictures. So bear with us. I did the best I could to cut it all together in a quick fashion so we could do this podcast. So I'm going to go back and forth muting and unmuting the video. Most of the time it's going to stay muted so that we can talk and comment on the products and stuff that we saw. But I will put the sound on when I think it's necessary. And I'm sure Nick knows already. There were certain products that were specifically sound related, or I wanted you to understand the audio effects from that product. So let's get right into that video. Let me go to share screen over here. Let's see, a video. Here it is. Share. I'm like, oh, there it is. Perfect. And we got that. We'll open it up and we'll go. Oh, let me X out this one. Participants can now see your application. Fantastic. That was the goal. All right, here we go. So let's start off this video. This first one, we're actually going to start with sound, so everybody can hear what's going on, and then we'll talk about it. So start it off. So what you just saw in that one, this company, Smart Firearms, was one of the first ones we were together and we saw. They make pretty cool products. They make these plastic firearms. Well, they're not really firearms. They're, I guess replicas. And they make audio sounds. So that ringing, that obnoxious ringing you heard was, it was if you put your finger into the trigger guard, but didn't actually pull the trigger, it was kind of an alarm to let you know, get your finger off the trigger. You're not using it right now. So that was pretty cool. And it actually has an LED on board that lights up for 10 seconds after an alarm goes off. So that if we were training a bunch of cops and they were stacked up and one of them put their finger in the trigger and then pulled it out, they can't get away with saying it wasn't them because you have proof. You can call them out on their shit. So that was pretty cool. How loud, I don't think this video does it justice. How loud were those gunshots out of that shot box?
I think even though it was encased, me and you both jumped at the same time. And we're used to hearing gunshots all the time too.
Yeah.
Which is probably the
did.
funniest part.
Yeah, I completely jumped and I'll own it. Yeah, they had to put that plexiglass box over that shot box to not disturb everyone throughout the show. But I would imagine if you had a booth across from them, you were not having it after a while. You were over it. And that's for a week straight. So that's a rough time. But so yeah, it made the gunshot noises too. And it could have like 6 different guns programmed to it, I think it was. So you can use it for chasing down an active shooter, some sort of threat. They said that the sound is actually designed to ricochet, or bounce off the walls. So it really makes the gunshots, pretty significant sounding in the room. And it also comes with this little car remote, and you can hit a button on a car remote to set off those gunshots too. So that if you're the instructor, you can, be setting that off in your pocket to make them kind of continue to chase down that threat if they get distracted with something, or they're moving too slow, or they're moving too quick, whatever it is that you want to do. That was a pretty cool product. So let's continue on with this. Let me mute it so we can continue on. And here they're showing they also had ARs. I know you like the AR that they had there that they built out for it. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that specific product of it is not out yet. They said I think that's going to be coming out in a couple months, and they're going to be adding more different types of firearms to connect to the sound box.
Did they mention which ones they were working on?
I know it's ARs. I know they said they want to do different types of pistols, because
right now they had Glock, because who doesn't?
Yeah, they want to do ARs. They want to be able to do, I think they were trying to get into different types of pistols and rifles, but they may just be sticking to the Glock and AR system just for now. I don't remember exactly because it was like the very first day, but I like the rifle one because it was just same thing. It was the same thing as a pistol, but I think it's good to also have rifles because you're going to need, you can then move on into like emergency services and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, different departments around the countries do different things, just because where we're local to, it's only their SRG, ESU, certain units that have long guns. You go around the country and patrol officers all have long guns in their cars. So really important to do that. This next one's one of my favorites, showing some Nocturne Industries products, some of their latest stuff. So what you saw there
so badly.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I have binos and I still want their stuff. So what's really cool about Nocturne Industries is they released a whole bunch of products besides panoramic night vision at an affordable price. And I put affordable in quotes because it's still not affordable. However, compared to what's already on the market, it's a significant difference in price. To me, what stood out was their 16 millimeter binos. I don't believe they were an aluminum housing. I think it was also like a polymer plastic type housing, but it might have been aluminum. All I remember is holding them. It was so lightweight. It was ridiculous. Now understand, if you choose 16 millimeter binocular night vision, you are at that point only going to be able to have Photonis tubes in them, because Photonis at this point in time are the only ones that make 16. Everyone else is doing, I believe, 18. So for those of you who won't touch Photonis, those aren't going to be for you. But if you want some really lightweight night vision and you don't care about Photonis being your choice of tubes, yay for that. That's really cool. So that's going to be awesome to check out. Now, I'm a big
lightweight night vision would work.
Yeah, I mean, if you tried those on, I mean, they were so light. I might argue you don't even need a counterweight on the back, that's pretty crazy. So I would do wonders on your neck. So here, North American Rescue, everyone knows who they are. You probably already have a lot of their TACMED gear. You know me, I'm a big TACMED guy. I think medical stuff is actually more important than firearm stuff. So stop by their booth to check out what's going on, the latest. Nothing really new. They were kind of just showing some packs that they had. Mechanics gloves, everybody knows who they are. I know, Nick, you're looking to do some more medical training at the facility. So we're going to actually, I've been talking to Chris. We have a few medical programs coming out, which I'm excited to get up and running very soon. We're going to be doing some family first aid programs, which I think is huge. Stuff for kids to do on kids to do on parents, parents to do on kids, etc. And we're also going to be doing some of the cool guy stuff, some of the real TACMED stuff, where we're going to be doing some, care on the X, care off the X, hot zone type stuff, which is going to be really cool. So I look forward to that happening very soon. Now, this company here, I forget the name of the company, which is a shame. I will try to link all the names for everybody who's interested in products, so you can keep up to date. This company here had two really cool products. One of them is actually a LED pad that was under the placard on your plate carrier, so that your plate carrier, the words on the placard would actually light up, and they can blink in different patterns and stuff. So if you're working traffic at night, you can have police blinking yellow, blue, red, whatever you want, solid, fast blink, slow blink. You could have something that says keep back 200 feet. So it's kind of like strapping one of those information boards to a plate carrier, which is a pretty cool idea. I also liked, and you'll see it coming up, their actual placards were super bright. I mean, so they had this dark box going on, and you'll see when they hit it with this light, how bright those really light up. So I was very impressed with how bright. I don't know what technology they're using in there, but that was super cool. So that was something I look forward to using. And they actually said that they were working. They also do magnets for cars. So for departments that have a lot of unmarked vehicles, and if they needed to, in an emergency, mark all their vehicles to use them, say there was like a disaster where, FEMA was called in or something like that. If they needed to suddenly mark all their vehicles, they'd have the ability to do so by throwing those magnets on. And now those magnets are really going to pop like those placards did. So that's pretty cool. Now, did you see this product? I don't think we were together at this point in time. This one was really cool.
So I actually did see this.
Okay.
I walked by it a couple times, and actually I was talking to do you remember, do you know any of the Gun for Hire guys in Woodland Park?
The only one I know is Anthony Calandro, the guy that owns it. I don't know any of the other guys by name.
All right, so I actually met up with them on day 2, and they told me that they are actually really interested in this one for their live fire range, because of the way you could add stuff to inside the cardboard. So like if you wanted to make it more realistic, you could add like different organs and different things like that to simulate realism, or you could actually put balloons inside them. So if you're trying to hit a specific spot within like say a certain target range, like whether it be a couple inches or like a giant portion of the target, the balloons will go off, and you can tell that you're actually hitting your target.
Right.
So it's
Some audio
it's a very versatile
feedback. Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
a very versatile system that they came up with.
Yeah, it's really cool. So what they were kind of demonstrating here, and it was interesting, was we're so used to shooting, we say center mass, but we're always shooting 2-dimensional targets. So what they were showing with this 3D target is the concept was, right now, if you were to shoot at me, example, center mass, you'd be aiming at the center of my chest. And if I were to turn my body on its side, you're so used to aiming at center mass that you'd still be aiming at my chest, but that would be kind of grazing me or just passing through, not really center of me anymore, where your center of me would now be here. So I forgot the terminology they used, but it was interesting. And that's what they were trying to show with this. And like Nick was saying, on the table there, they had an array of, I don't know if it was Velcro or how it went about attaching, but all these different items that you could put on these cardboard targets to simulate bad guy versus good guy, innocent, cop, etc. So a gun with a badge, a phone, a camera, etc. A whole bunch of different things you could do to put in their hands. So that was pretty cool. I liked what they were doing over there, and it was an affordable thing. It wasn't one of those things where it's like, here's the latest technology and you're going to be stuck paying $10,000 for it, right? It's cardboard. But and that's how it is. I mean, a lot of things at SHOT Show, you're like looking at, you're like, this is awesome. And I'm glad I saw it here because I'll never see it again. The reality is that's something that, anything from a major big law enforcement agency or a big private sector can afford, but also some of these smaller companies and these smaller agencies, some of these 14-man police departments could probably afford something like that. So I like that there's, the gamut, is very wide in that there's all different types of companies at SHOT Show that you can see. Let's keep it going here. Oh, so this is just some different angles. You see they're using a circ gun for the demonstration. So that was really cool. I was excited that we got to see that too. Becca did a great job of following us around and just getting videos of everything. Now, this was a cool company. They were based out of Los Angeles. I think later in the video, let me back it up a little bit, but I think later in the video, you'll see some of their stuff close up. I don't recall. What they did was they made, I don't think they created anything of their own. They kind of did what, other companies have done, where they just kind of copy and redesign certain products, but they did a good job about going about it. So, like I run a Surefire X300 on my pistol. Okay. That's my weapon mountain light. And the switches on them are rather short. So Filster, which is a company we both love, we use their holsters. They came out with their own accessory switches that you can swap out, and they're a little bit longer. There's some grooves to them for better, dexterity and texture. So they kind of made the same products, but I think they kind of took it to the next level in the design, and they brought the switch upward so that it's closer to the frame of the gun. So you're not reaching so far down off the gun and breaking that thumb off the gun. It's kind of there closer, and they made some wire routing stuff for M-Lock, some different accessories here. So I actually like their stuff. I definitely am going to order something and check it out. This product, have you seen this before? I've seen this going back a few years now as an option for a less lethal. And, I haven't seen any data on it. I know they said at this point in time, there's no agencies using it. They're in the testing phases still, but I'm a big fan of it because I like the idea behind it. Although I do think it's going to take a lot of retraining. So what this product is, and you'll see it a little bit better when it shows you on the table, is it is a less lethal device that sits in a little pouch on your duty belt, and it goes to the top of your gun and doesn't block your sights or anything. And what happens is that, ball at the end of it catches a 9 or 40 millimeter 40 caliber, projectile, right? So 9 and 40, it catches it, sending that ball downrange, but that ball is unable to penetrate the human body. And it travels roughly, they said, at the same velocity and has the same effect as a beanbag round out of a 12 gauge shotgun. So the idea behind this device is that if you're a officer who works alone, right? So for example, Jackson County Sheriff's Office, I did some ride-alongs with them, really cool guys. They ride, I forget how many square miles they cover, but it was something exorbitant. I don't, don't quote me on this, somewhere upwards of like 400 square miles and 4 deputies on the road at one time to cover all that area. That's a lot of area to cover with 4 deputies. So the idea behind this is if you work alone and you pull out your less lethal, right? You go to a taser, you go to pepper, maybe you even have a 2-handed less lethal, like a 12 gauge shotgun, something like that. Those are occupying your hands. And what's the answer if this person's not being stopped and they either escalate or upgrade to lethal force, and they're coming at you. Now you have to somehow ditch that weapon. Do you drop your taser on the floor and possibly give them access to it? Do you try to put it away, which takes more time to get to your lethal option? So the idea behind this is that first round that you fire is the less lethal. Hopefully they go down with that. And if it doesn't work, now your lethal is already in your hands. So I like the concept. The issue I have with it, and tell me what you think about this, is it takes a lot of retraining, because I know if someone were coming at me, I'd probably just fire multiple shots. And now your first shot was less lethal, which was your intent. But then the follow-up ones are all lethal after that, just because of your training on when you pull your gun and you shoot multiple times. It's going to take a lot of retraining. So that's where I kind of have a hiccup with it. And I'm not sure exactly how to feel. I like the concept. I don't know how well it can actually be executed and how many departments are going to be successful with it. Like if you remember that video of that cop who pulled out her gun, yelled taser, and shot the guy in the car with her actual fire. So what's your take on this? Do you think this is going to be something that actually be used by departments? Do you think it needs to go back to the drawing boards? What do you think?
So a lot of I agree with you. The concept of you being able to have your lethal and non-lethal as one is great, especially for those that are law enforcement. However, to retrain and to break the current muscle memory that you get from your academy and from your drills and from your training, to go from, all right, my first shot is going to, I have to fire one shot because it's going to be my non-lethal instead of like pulling out a taser or something, when I know for a fact, usually the person that double taps or fires more than one shot. So for me to think to be like, all right, I now have to think about, all right, I have this thing that's going to be non-lethal. I have to remember to only fire once, because if I go non-lethal and then I fire twice, my non-lethal just became a lethal. So
exactly, because
I think honestly,
it doesn't feel like a taser or another option. It feels like your gun, because it is your gun. So you're so used to pulling your gun and just going to work that, as King Pix Media would say, punch out, go to work. I love that guy. That's what you're going to have here.
I was watching him this morning.
Dude, I actually want to do a whole parody video with all of us. Like, it would be like, let's say you teaching a class and you say, punch out, go to work. And all the students are just there doing it with you as if it's like a real lesson. I think that'd be so funny. We should definitely do that parody and tag him. I think he'd get a kick out of it. So yeah, let's see where this product goes in the future. I'd love to get my hands on one and test it out for fun on our own, not shooting each other, obviously, but just see how it actually works. Like that video they showed on paper, and it was showing how accurate it is, but it didn't say the distance. So I don't know what distance they were shooting it at to maintain that level of accuracy too. So we'll have to see.
I mean, the distance is going to probably be cut.
Oh, I'd imagine significantly.
Cut,
some more TACMED stuff. I'm a big fan of this stuff. Some practicing wound packing and tourniquet use with some really cool equipment. This one was Rescue Essentials, another great brand out there. They had some cool stuff on display. There was actually a brand, I don't think I put their video in, but I just saw the trauma shears, which reminded me. There was a company selling their own version of trauma shears there. They looked really nice and durable, and they were cutting through turnout gear, firefighter turnout gear, which was pretty cool, because that stuff's pretty tough stuff. And it was claiming that it doesn't lose its sharpness. I don't know if that's even a word, but I used it. So yeah, that's let's keep it going. This was a booth that was very hot. Unity Tactical put out quite a few things, and I was standing here for a while checking out their stuff. So I already run a lot of Unity stuff. I run a lot of Unity mounts on my H2 and the 3x magnifier behind it. Big fan of that. And I've been wanting to get their taps and sync switches in the past, but now they released something new, which I really liked. And, you see the hot button on the bottom, but what they did now is they kind of merged the taps with the hot button. And that's what you see on top there. And what's really cool about that is there's no longer that, I don't remember if it's front or back. They both feel the same. I just grabbed out on my rail and accidentally, I don't remember which one I hit, and you're accidentally turning on your white light when you wanted to just, stay under nods and just hit IR, etc. So what they did now, which is pretty cool, is you have one flush button, and then you have one at a 45-degree angle that also has a clicky. style tail cap like you would on a regular flashlight, and that's so you can clearly differentiate which ones you're doing under, dark environments or even without looking. So that's really cool that they did that. And then, I was just messing around with it. It's called the Axon. I was messing around with both. And it was nice because the tail cap feature, you can also, instead of clicking it in, you could just lightly tap it like you could with some Surefires and other flashlights and activate it momentarily instead of in steady on. So that was nice.
Still probably a pretty penny though.
Oh, it's definitely, everything of theirs is a pretty penny. I don't doubt that. Laser Mantis, guys, we met with Laser Mantis. We spoke to them. We're going to actually get, I think the owner is going to come on this show for a future episode to talk about their products. What I'm really excited about is there's a good chance we are going to be doing a possibly a giveaway for the dry fire. For the dry fire side of things, people that are in that competition, we're going to have a giveaway of possibly some Laser Mantis stuff. So that's really exciting news. And that's something I can talk about. Check this out. This was really cool. My Case Builder, they're actually local to us. They're based out of New Jersey. We're going to actually be going to their location and doing a walkthrough of the facility, filming it and showing it to you guys. The idea behind their product is that if you've ever tried plucking foam on your own, cutting and plucking foam, and it's gone horribly and it looks ugly, you don't have to anymore. You tell them exactly what you have, what accessories you have on the gun, etc., and they use a laser to cut out everything, so it's perfect the first time. And you tell them exactly what size case you have, what make, what model, etc. So that's pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna be ordering some stuff from them because I suck at this shit.
Lasers are cool.
Yeah, this was badass. I like their style. It was funny too because I knew who they were. So when I walked up to them, I'm like, you don't need to sell me. I just here for the discount code. So that was pretty cool. And you can see you can see it up here. They're moving the product around to the different parts of the case to make everything fit and where cuts are going to be. It's pretty cool. Trigger Tech. Now this was a cool booth too. They had some new products released. The reason I find Trigger Tech very interesting, I have a Freedom Ordnance FX9. When I wanted to get it's an AR9, but it's slightly different. It's not like mil spec in that you could just grab different parts and throw into that gun like you could with other AR9s. So Trigger Tech is based out of Canada, and in Canada they couldn't get AR9s there, but they were able to get the FX9 for some reason. So they made their own trigger for it, and that was the trigger I used to upgrade. So it was cool to see those guys in person. I don't know if you checked out their triggers, but that was pretty dope. Now this next session is pretty funny. I'm actually going to put the sound on. If you don't know, I was a big paintball player, and Nick actually used to play airsoft, and I think he still does a little bit. Is that correct?
Got a whole wall of guns right next to me to prove it.
There you go. So Nick's an airsofter. I'm a paintballer, and it's always funny to see some of these companies at SHOT Show because it's like, what do they have to do with the industry? But they're there, and people are having fun with their stuff. So I spoke to Tippmann back in 2020 and found this out because I found this very interesting. Tippmann are actually two brothers who split up, and one went to the paintball world and one went to the gun world. So this is Tippmann. Here, Beckett's shooting the Gil Blaster. I'm very familiar with these guys. Some of their local reps that sell stuff here on Long Island and New York City, New Jersey, the tri-state area. He's a good buddy of mine, and he actually runs kids parties where they set up one of these little blow up arenas, and they put up all these mini blow up bunkers, and you can run out shooting each other with gel blasters. So this was pretty cool. This thing was awesome. I know you were there with me. We couldn't go inside of it, but this was a tank
it's a British tank.
Yeah,
I forgot the exact name.
As did I. They were this company based out of Texas where you can go there,
Uvalde, Texas,
drive tanks. Yeah, a lot of people from Texas were there. Drive tanks, shoot guns, blow shit up, fire an RPG, I think they said, which was dope. And they did hunting trips, daytime, nighttime, etc. A lot of cool stuff. So that was awesome. They even said they do bachelor parties. So I'm possibly thinking about doing that now because that sounds badass.
Oh, I have it.
Oh, you have the name of that one? In the meantime, oh, there it is. What's it called?
DriveTanks.com.
DriveTanks.com. How could we forget that? Pretty straightforward. DriveTanks.com, based out of Texas. It's on a ranch, and it's pretty dope. Nick and I both like this a lot. We were having a lot of fun with all different kinds of simulators and laser systems and stuff.
I gotta get this angle. Sorry, I'm nervous.
So this one was really, really fun. And we're going to lower the sound a little bit. We were both having a good time with this. I forget which brand this was. I want to say this was smokeless range laser ammo, but I'm not positive. But we had a lot of fun with this one. And these are great training
The dot
tools.
was just too damn low.
It was.
Hey,
That was
there,
my
man. Go take a
problem
cat.
too. That was my problem too. They mounted a very low dot on an AR, and I haven't had to dig my face into such a fucking tight cheek well in a long time. So I was not prepared for that. But it was a lot of fun to shoot this. Now this thing was interesting, and if you guys are looking at this and saying, "What the hell is that?" If you look carefully, you could freeze frame, screenshot, zoom in. They make a bullpup conversion for your AR-15 that you already own. And all it is was like some metal frames that went over the lower. You took the lower grip off and some other parts and you slid that on. So it's not a new lower, right? No serial number. It's just an attachment that goes there and you're making it a smaller package. I'm not a huge bullpup fan, but I think I will pick one of these up just to check it out and see what it's like.
What do you got against bullpups?
I'm just not a huge bullpup fan.
Some of the greatest guns, in my opinion, are like bullpups, like the Devore, the L86, the good one, the L80 or SA80, the AUG the Austrian AUG. Like those are all great bullpups.
Yeah, no, they're successful, reliable weapon. Well, the Tavor has gone through its phases, but some of the later models I think are doing better. But it's more so, I guess, a retraining. Again, it's one of those things I like the concept more than I actually like it. I sound like that guy from what was that movie with Paul Rudd where they were energy drink salesmen and they fought with a tow truck guy. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh no, I have no idea. The only Paul Rudd movie I know is Ant-Man.
Oh no, it's the one where they have to do community service with the kids, and it's the one where he's talking about tell her you miss her whispering eye. It means vagina, you know? Yeah. And that one, he says it like, he's like, you like Coca-Cola? I like the concept of it more than I actually like it. So that's how I feel about this. It's retraining. I don't like the whole loading the magazine into the rear over here because I'm very used to doing it up front, but I guess if you train with it enough, it could work. As far as reliability, I want to get my hands on one of these and test it. I want to throw it in the sand, throw it in the mud, throw it in the dirt and see if it survives. Because you have some exterior parts that you would normally be able to access and, brush off pretty easily are now internal inside of a new housing. So I'd like to see how that works.
Yeah, and there's a lot of anti-safety.
It's pretty cool though.
What a lot of people like about bullpups though, you could kind of have better control of the recoil because everything's operating like into your shoulder and behind you. And then that gives you room to have like a longer barrel and things like that. So everything's operating here, and then you just have all of this, which you could just focus on. So it's so while the weight may be behind, it may be off balance, but you'll be able to have a better like shock pad, things like that. So that's kind of why people like them, is because like it gives you like more control of your firearm. That's at least in my experience. But then again, depends on what you like.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, there's definitely, I completely understand what you're saying. I see it, like you said, from a CQB side of things, everybody wants to run the shorties. This allows you to run a short
100%.
package without running a short barrel. So you're still getting better muzzle velocity because you have the same standard length barrel as opposed to going shorter. So sure, there's definitely something to it. I guess I just don't have a lot of time behind bullpups, so it would be something I'd have to get into. Now, here is something that I think we saw a lot of these style things at SHOT Show, and that's what I call a gimmick. I think, again, it's something that...
I remember. I remember this.
Yeah, it's something that's... It's a nice way of saying, I don't have to be nice, fuck it. I think it's a gimmick. I think it's a toy. I don't think it's useful in any way. And I don't recommend it. So what it is, and she'll demo it here, and we were messing around with it too. It's basically piece of plastic that covers your trigger guard. So for those people who are familiar with like the G-string style Kydex holsters, or Raven, I think makes something like that, Ravenclaw, Ravencrest, I don't remember their name. It just covers the trigger guard, and then when you need to access it, you put your finger inside that little part. It's spring loaded. It pops it off for you. So if you were carrying in a bag, she said, like, you're carrying a pocketbook, and you don't want anything like a pen or lipstick getting into the trigger guard. It protects the trigger. And the way she was describing it makes it sound like when you need your gun, you're like ruffling through your pocketbook trying to find your gun somewhere in there, which is kind of silly. We don't recommend off-body carry as is. So I'm not a fan of this product anyway. Also, she couldn't answer a lot of questions. Like I asked her, I was like, did you step on it? She's like, why would you step on it? I was like, I don't know. If I grabbed my gun and flicked it off and it landed on the floor,
I remember.
And then I had to
I remember
advance on something and I stepped on it, is it going to survive? And she's like, well, we dropped it on the floor, but we didn't step on it. So I was like, well, you got to do your homework. You're going to try to sell people that beat their shit up for a living products, and then you don't have the answers, like back to the drawing board, please. So that was my take on this one.
And it was like $50 a pop too.
Yeah, I'll probably get one. I'll buy it full price. I will step on it and see how it does. That'll be my full test. I'll never use it a day in my life. Yeah, I'll get my fucking Ultimas or my Solomons on, and I will fucking boot stomp the shit out of it. And then I'll send it back and say it didn't survive. Yeah, you're right. I should use my Tims living in fucking New York.
Use it
so
full dead ass.
These were some pretty guns we saw here. I don't even know what the brand was. I didn't really care. They were just shiny and cool, so we stopped to look at them real quick. Nothing special as far as what they were. It was more the colors and stuff. I didn't see anything significant there. This one, design. Yeah, this one was, again, I think another gimmick, and you can see what they just did there. Magnetically attached accessories. They claimed that there's
I personally like this one.
So, but here's the thing with it. They claimed that the magnets were so strong, and there was a mechanical device also, in the sense that they had cutouts so that it would sit the same way properly every time, so that it would stay on your gun every time you take it off and put it back on. And they were showing, they even did it with, it was one thing if you want to have a light like that, but they did it with optic and a 3x magnifier behind the optic. So you could take your optics off, you could put your optic on, you could put your 3x magnifier on and off. You don't need to keep it attached to the rail. And he said it still maintains 0.
And it will keep it 0.
But then I asked him, what'd you 0 it at? And he said, well, I'm not the best shot. So, it may have not been the 0. It may have been me not being able to be that accurate. And I was like, again, this sounds like a cop-out. Here's the thing. Did you see how easily he just took that off? And I want to back this up a little bit just to show you. Look at the angle. It was a strong magnet, but just check out, not an absurd amount of strength to separate it. So here's my thing. If you go from like a low ready position and come up on target, or you're going through a doorway or something like that, isn't it possible you can knock that off on the frame of something, or bailing out of a car, and now you don't have a light on your gun anymore? Like, that was my whole thing, is I don't know how well I trust those magnets. So again, a product I'll probably buy and test out and then let you guys know what I think.
Yeah, they use different style. They use different amount. I forgot what was it. Different weights of magnets for the lights, and they also had the magnets hanging the firearms up on the wall behind them. And this one was for the light. They said they didn't want to make it too strong to where you can't get your light off, but they wanted it strong enough to keep it on. But from how easily you were able to like kind of pull it on and off, if you hit it hard enough against the wall, like at that right, fly off.
Yeah.
Same thing with the optics. That's right.
And he did say there was a local SWAT team to their area that was testing this product out. I don't know who. I don't know if it's accurate, but that's what he said. We'll wait and see. That's all we can do.
He also, I think they also said they were coming out with a version where it like had like a thing that like kind of latched onto the rail too, to kind of like keep it, like kind of like as an extra security. Something they said they're coming out with a prototype. That
you're right. They did say something. It was almost like a little latch. Right, exactly. That was like a secondary
so they're
thing.
already planning. They're already planning for the light to fall off.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, all right, well, this
Yeah.
wasn't the greatest idea, so let's unfuck it. And then eventually they're gonna say,
So we
can't-
have a backup in case the magnets fail.
yeah, you know what's gonna happen? The third generation is gonna be, we just use the latch now. We no longer have magnets, and it stays permanently on your gun. So they're no longer the same company they started as. It's just a complete 180. But yeah,
You
so
also
let's see
use
what
it for the
happens.
motorcycle helmet too.
That was cool. I like that. And you can see the motorcycle helmet there in the background. They use this so you can take your light on and off your motorcycle helmet. You can use it as a handheld. You can mount it there. You can mount it in different places. And I know you're someone that rides. I used to. I don't anymore. I probably never will. But yeah, I think it could be used in other applications. I don't think it has a place in the gun world. That's my take on it.
No,
But I'm
the
just one
helmet
man.
thing. I think it would be great.
This shit was awesome. So this is the
Crazy.
ballistics dummy lab. They make the ballistics for Forged in Fire. If you've ever watched the It Will Kill guy beat the shit
Yeah,
out
it
of some
literally said
fucking
it on
dummies.
that panel too.
Yeah, it had all the people that use it. Grand
board.
Thumb, Mike Jones, he uses this in his videos when he's doing his
Brandon
science.
Herrera used it in a recent video.
There you
too.
go. Brandon Herrera too. I know you're a big fan of his.
Oh
yeah.
hell yeah!
Cool stuff. It just, the prices were insane. A torso and a head was like $8,000, and I was like,
Yeah,
take out a
if
mortgage
you
on
wanted
my
a
house.
full body, it was like 10 grand. It was like 10 grand for like not even a whole body.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's depending what you wanted inside it too. Like if you wanted organs, if you wanted fake blood and everything.
Yep, yeah. I know it was expensive, but it was very customizable. You could do different things, different colors, different organs, etc. So that was pretty cool that you could do all that.
Listen, it's always a cool things that are be mad pricey.
This was actually very cool. I know we both liked this a
I
lot.
want one.
I want one as well.
one.
I want two actually. So this is a it's exactly what it looks like, guys. It is a portable charger disguised as an AR mag, as a PMag almost. They make those, which were really cool. The guy said it was like good for like 9 charges, and they have the prototype model, which they fully charged and never used. And they said that it still holds a charge till this day. It's still not dead yet, and it's been a year. So that's pretty crazy. I might be mistaken, but I think they actually said it hasn't even dropped down in battery yet. I don't know if that's true or not, but
no, they said the ones that weren't used said that they didn't go down, and they had one that like went down to like 90%, and that was only after. Then that was like after a certain amount of time. I don't remember the exact specs and specifics, but they said that a full charge will give you 10 charges.
10
yeah,
charges.
I think a full mag.
Yeah.
A full mag will give you 10 charges.
Yeah, full mag. And they're working on a Glock mag shortly. That'll be coming out soon, which they're saying it's going to be half of the PMag version.
So five.
They haven't done an
charges per
official drop test on this yet because we asked, but he did say when he was hunting in his tree stand, he accidentally dropped it from about 24 feet and it survived. So do with that information what you will. You'll also see all those crates they have in the background. They're, I think, patented too. It's their design, and it's these folding crates that fold to basically this flat little box, and it opens up into basically your full-size milk crate. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool too, that they did that. And
Yeah,
their
those
business
are cool.
cards were actually a PMag on the back. It was a sticker with a business card in one. I think it's a pretty cool way to do business cards. So
I don't think it was a PMAX. I think it was just a PMAX sticker. No.
oh no, I have one around here somewhere. I'm not exactly sure where it is. I'm pretty sure it was both. But maybe I'm wrong.
I have the sticker.
Oh, there you go. See, there's a sticker. Pretty sick.
Yeah, it's just a sticker.
Just a sticker. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was both. I gotta double check. But I have a whole stack of cards here. I gotta figure out what's what.
I have it some.
Oh, here we go. Check it out. Look.
Card somewhere.
Here it is. Sticker. And then on the back.
Oh,
you know what he did?
Got...
No, he stuck the sticker on the back of his business card. It's not a peel away. It's already stuck.
Oh,
It's done been stuck
I
already.
didn't get a business card. I
Well,
got a thing.
Yeah, I wanted an actual sticker because that's what I like to put on shit, but that's okay. Now this was actually one of my favorite things that we saw at the show. Lasers. This fucking shit gets me exciting.
Lasers are cool.
So they have a few different SIRT guns they're showing, and one of the latest is a rifle. And what's cool about it, it's kind of like the micro-roni of the SIRT world. You don't need to buy a whole new gun. You just drop your pre-existing SIRT Glock gun into this rifle, and now you have a little SBR, and they're making the barrel actually on that extends out. You can lengthen the barrel so that you have a longer barrel, shorter barrel, etc. And it's all with your pre-existing SIRT gun. So no need to buy new guns. You just upgrade it with this plastic housing, adjustable stock, adjustable barrel, like I said. Safety, I think there was. So some cool stuff that now you can train, if you're in New York and you can't get there, you see the extending barrel. If you can't get certain things, you have the ability to train with these lasers. And if you're on the go and traveling and when you want to keep your dry fire up while you're on vacation, it's a laser toy, not a gun. Pretty cool stuff. So I was glad to see stuff like this out. We should actually play this with the sound so you can hear him talking about the product, but that's all right. We'll just, I think we covered it anyway. Check out that fanny, by the way. Fanny pack game's strong on this trip. Here, we're getting back to another gimmick again. This was called the Bad Rod.
I love this thing.
Again, I think it's a cool idea, but the execution. So you remove your recoil rod and replace it with this recoil rod, which has a spike on the end of it of some sort. I don't know what tungsten. I don't know what material it was. And it's designed to be like a window break.
So he basically said that way, instead of having, because most windows you need specific items to actually break them. You now could, if you have your firearm, you could actually just bash it into the window. And I was calling it a bayonet for a pistol the entire time, because
you might hear that in the audio. Let's see if we can.
Maybe I kept mentioning it. So
that's awesome.
This thing's awesome. It's out of hardened stainless steel. So that way it can go through.
Absolutely sick.
Tired.
No, you didn't see it.
So you didn't get it.
Yeah, you don't hear the audio in there.
My bracelet though. Keep my bracelet.
Yeah. What is this you're holding here? I don't even remember which one this was.
That's Full Metal.
Yes, this was the folding. No, this one's the folding slides. The folding thumb rests. So I actually on one of the last episodes of this show, I had Odin Armory on the show, and he makes these thumb rests and folding thumb rests. These guys are doing it also, a little bit different. I don't know if I like them because they're very small. You can't really get a lot of thumb on there, and I'm a big fan of getting my thumb all up on there, if you know what I mean. So, but I will say they had a lot of different models available. They all seem to attach to the takedown lever. So on Glocks, that pull down takedown lever replaces that. So you have a folding thumb rest on the SIG 320, the typical one like you've seen already. And you can see it there, a little close up action. So that's what they make, and they had a video showing the muzzle rise comparing the two. Here's CZ Armory or something like that. They make accessories for CZs, competition stuff. This is RIP, rest in peace ammo. It was funny. We were actually talking to these guys about their ammo. It's considered a hollow point, and we were talking to them about Jersey's Law. And if they just packed the tip with polymer like Hornady did for their critical line of ammunition, they would be good to go in New Jersey. So they're like, maybe next time you see this, you'll have a polymer filling and you'll be like, damn, I should have patented that. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do it or something like that. I don't know if Hornady has a patent that they'd have to buy, or they'll try to do something of their own, but it was interesting stuff.
I just thought of something.
What's that?
It's going back, but remember, hey, who's that sexy guy? But you remember the pike thing? Remember, since it replaces the recoil spring, if you run a Surefire on your gun, you may not even be able to use it.
There you go. That's a good point too. There you go.
I just thought of that.
No, you're absolutely right. And that's happened quite a few times. And there's a video that's going to come up where you're going to hear me shit talk this product, and I think you don't like it either. Yeah, if you run a light that extends past your muzzle, that bad rod will not be able to make contact with the glass. So
you have to, like, if you have a QD, you got to take it off, or if you have the B, you got to screw it off. And
too much fucking movement and stuff. Just have someone else approach, or don't approach, Wait till it's safe. There's better answers than replacing your recoil rod with fucking hardened steel and trying to fucking whack someone's window with a muzzle pointed. It's just there's a whole lot of wrong.
Punch out, go to work.
Yeah, there you go. Punch out, go to work with the best. This shit was cool. Not practical, but fucking badass.
I couldn't even get the slide lock when I pulled it back. Me and Becca were looking at it, and I'm trying to hit the slide lock, and it's not going.
Yeah,
and we're just looking at you like, I think I broke it.
Dude, I don't even know how this thing works. If you're just listening to this episode, you should really try to get the video version going. It's a double barrel 1911 or 2011. I don't know what caliber.
That's not a new concept. 2011.
This shit was so heavy.
It's a double barrel.
Yeah. This thing was thick and heavy, like my ex.
Thick with literally like 4 C's.
Yeah, big time. Here you see a Guccier one with some laser work. Now this thing fucking had me going BANANAS.
Oh yeah, you were going crazy over that thing.
So you guys know I love competition shooting. I love USPSA. They have their own open gun. This is all Tony Systems accessories on a Beretta. And it was funny because actually I think you hear me ask on this video. Let's see. Is this 9 major or 38 super? 9 major.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. It cuts off there. So I ask if it's 9 major or 38 super, and he says 9 major. And then afterwards I say, I didn't know the Beretta was rated for 9 major. And he said, it's not. So I don't know how long your gun is going to last, wear and tear on certain parts, but it was pretty fun to see that. This was badass. This is John Wick's car from the movie that they were not raffling off the car, but they were raffling off the AR that Becca was holding there. So that was pretty cool. This was awesome. And I know you and I can't talk about certain things that came of this, but things are in the works with these guys. So the Smoke Pit podcast and Pop Smoke Media, we were on their podcast for a little bit, just shooting the shit, talking about Trinity Training Complex, and some cool stuff is happening in the future. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. Here we go.
Cool.
Next time.
In your belt right now.
Yep.
Do you guys shoot each other for fun?
Yes. I mean, that's what they're for.
Yo, this is sick.
Yeah, it kind of pulls off.
So what you saw there was a Kydex holster designed for a Nerf gun. They said that they originally made the product as an April Fool's prank, and they got so many people that actually ordered one online that they started producing them. It's pretty funny. Pretty fucking funny. I don't know.
We need them for.
Say that again.
I was gonna say those because we have the Nerf darts.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, at Trinity, besides all the badass shit that we do, we also throw kids Nerf parties. So yeah, Kydex holsters for that. Now, unfortunately, aside from the Kydex holsters for the Nerf guns, I don't think anything else out about their products really stood out. It was just your typical run-of-the-mill Kydex holsters.
I mean, they had the one thing I noticed is that they made it easier to attach a extra magazine holder to the actual holster using like these rods, and that and I don't know if any other company does it. You would know more better than me, but they were able to switch out the screws and put them on the other side. Yeah, like it's easier to connect the different accessories to their holsters. From what I saw, it was because I stayed back a little bit more while you went up.
Yeah, so T-Rex Arms did it first. And they make that where you can buy the holster and attach different accessories to it with a rod that the two go like kind of intertwine, and then a rod goes down between and holds them all in place. And you can get extra magazine, just an extra clip if you're gonna go from appendix to on your hip carrying, tourniquets, AR mags. You could really get it creative with it. So that was pretty cool stuff. But I don't know, whatever. This is another company. They made accessories for FN products. I don't really give a shit about FN products. The P90 is cool. The 5.7x28 pistol is cool, but I mean, nah, that's my answer. Yeah.
Yeah, they basically made knockoff FN guns.
Yeah, they were working on their own SCAR, they said.
Yeah, but they got rid of the best part about the SCAR, which was like the actual stock of it, and
The
they
UGG
added
boot?
a UMP
Yeah.
style stock.
Yeah. Whatever. Let's see where that goes. Right now, this is Lena Michalek. If you don't know who Lena Michalek is, you've been hiding under a rock. She's the daughter of Jerry Michalek. She's a
Yes.
competitive shooter, a champion on many levels. She loads a shotgun like an animal, and she most recently just released Rose with SIG. It's her own line of guns, and it's a firearms training program for women. It's pretty cool. Check it out, guys. If you want to get your lady into shooting and stuff, check out Rose from SIG, and it's all with Lena Michalek. So that was pretty cool to see her there. That was awesome. This was a fun part. I'm gonna put the sound back on.
I've got an turnover right here.
Oh my god, I want.
Is there a peanut butter one?
No, but guess what? We do a bread.
So what you're hearing them talk about right now is these are MREs that they don't cook these. They don't warm them up. You just eat them as is. And I liked it a lot, actually. I had the pizza one and I had the taco one, and I enjoyed it. You didn't like yours? What'd you have?
So I had like this chicken one and like a Cajun chicken one. It was like two chicken different kind. Oh, and they gave me a dessert one too, the cinnamon bun one. But I don't know. Every time I just think of MREs, I'm just like, well, I'd rather just get the actual thing than eat an MRE. Like, I have PTSD when it comes to that stuff.
Designed a bread, which is
You know,
sliced,
I thought
so
like
they could
camping
do
and
the
stuff, it was
sachets
fun.
of the
It could go into
peanut
like
butter and
let's give it a shot.
and the
Put it
jelly.
back.
Barbecue.
Good?
That is not bad. That is not bad.
It's like a taco. It smells like taco. I will say, although it smelled like taco, it looked like dog food. I mean, it didn't
Going
look
from
appetizing.
the Ricochet Report to freaking to a Yelp food reviewer.
I do guns and food. Oh, it's pretty damn good. This device was awesome, and they actually, I got one right here. It's a way
Brad
of,
loves this thing.
I do, that roll pin that holds your mag catch in place on the AR.
I'm trying to get a roll pin.
It's impossible to get out. You can do it with ease. So that was pretty cool. I like that a lot. Oh, here we are. This one I want sound on. Matrix Arms hit me up on Instagram. They wanted me to come by the booth. Here you see a Full Metal Glock, and they also have a cool product. I'm just gonna let the audio play out on this one. It'll do all the explanations. Oh, let's hit play. That ain't plastic. All runs Glock 19 Gen 3 from Matrix Arms. Super feel. It feels great in the hands. Really, really nice. Let's take a look at the pump action.
All right.
I know when.
Oh, it's going.
All right. Alan Ferris here with Matrix Arms. We're here with our brand new dual pump AR-15. Just the cage handguard on here. We've got this one here is a semi-automatic. So we've got a front charge handle here. It's also a rear charge handle. So you can do either or. If you block off your gas system, it's going to be a single pump action, 50 state legal. So this version here, obviously we have semi-auto. Then we've got the single pump action. The handguard itself is available on anywhere from a 7-inch all the way up to a 15-inch. And starting at 11 is when we can have the dual pump on there. So this will be available in 9mm and 5.56 here in probably about a month.
Awesome.
This is a brand new patent pending design. This is the very first actual pump that we've made. We've got a couple other versions here. Here you can see that we've got the M-lock slots here, and you can slide them any which way, and you just torque them down, obviously. We've got pick rails that go on the front. Our 7.5-inch version of this is actually lighter than our 7.5-inch carbon fiber handguard. So it's extremely light without the pump, and with the pump doesn't have much weight either. So
Thank you so much.
Have you guys thought about? So I was just I paused it there and I'm gonna mute it. So I was talking to Alan about some design stuff. We'll see if it ends up happening, if it's going to be in the works. But Alan's going to come on the podcast for a future episode. So their stuff was pretty cool. I definitely want to get my hands on a metal Glock. Oh, really? You weren't into it? I thought it was very innovative. A pump AR that can be converted back to
The
semi-auto.
pump, I didn't like it personally, because but I'm also a stickler for the original design of everything. So I hate key mod rails. So I'm not a good shifter character when it comes to this.
No,
so to
I
speak.
actually hate key mod too. I'm an M-lock or quad rail kind of guy. But I like the fact that they're trying to think of ways to make people still have ARs that can be semi-auto, but get away with having them in states where you can't by calling it a pump. That's what I'm a fan of.
We still can't even have the pistol grip on there. You got to take it off in New York.
Not if it's a pump action.
Really?
Yep. If it's a pump action, you can have a pistol grip. That's why I'm saying that, because it's the assault weapons thing only applies to semi-auto. So if it's a pump action, you can Gucci it out with everything you want. And then you just turn your gas block back on, and now you got a semi-auto. That's why I'm a fan of these kinds of things, because of the shit they do. Now, this guy, I'm going to turn the sound back on. He blew up the internet a while ago when he came up with this headrest safe. And I think he said I was the first one to record a video of the new model of it. So play it.
Can we take a picture with it?
Can you give me a demo of it real quick?
This is our new version. This one hadn't been on Instagram yet, so you could be the guy.
Let's see what happens.
Tell me when you're ready.
You're good to go.
All right. Opens up. Biometric. Takes about 1 second. Opens. Then it removes. So now you can take it with you. If you're at work, if you're at home, you don't want your children to get your gun. It's all locked.
So the reason I was a big fan of this product in general was, it was an out of sight, out of mind, safe storage for your firearm. And what I really like about this model is now you're like, the whole thing with the original one is you got to like take your gun out of your holster or something and put it there, and you're like holding it up in the windows of the car where everybody could see you putting it into your headrest. But now it's its own case, so you never actually see a firearm. So I thought that's pretty cool. And they actually said that even without the safe in there, that headrest is made, even though it's hollow, it's made of 18 gauge steel, so it's not going to break or anything if you didn't have the safe in there. We were messing with these things for a while. We were making this is Dvorak Instruments. Let me pause it real quick before I get to this. We were messing with a lot of those CO2 conversions. We messed with the Cool Fire Trainer for a little bit too. I know you like that a lot as well.
Oh yeah, that was fun. Just go pew 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 every time.
Yeah, it was really cool. Really cool to be able to use your actual firearm, have it recoil with a laser and all that stuff. Now this is pretty cool. I'm going to put the audio back on here so you can hear. I believe this was Lionheart or something like that.
All locked up, good to go.
That's awesome.
Push this forward,
Yeah, Lion.
and it's going to give you a light long pull as opposed to that heavy double action for your first shot. So the idea is you load it, charge it.
So it's still a light trigger pull. Short, light, long pull, and then. So what that means is, for those of you who are used to a traditional double action or double single, whatever you want to call it, normally you got to use a decocker to send the hammer forward, and then the trigger goes all the way to its front position again, and then your remaining shots will be single action. What this does, instead of having a long, heavy trigger pull, you still have that long trigger pull, but it's lightweight as if it was in single action already. So that's pretty cool. I like it. It would all be light after that. Oh, yeah. So this is funny. This is the most time we spent at the Glock booth. This is the most time we spent at the Glock booth. And you'll actually see here in a second, I actually trip as I transition from this carpet to the next carpet, which is fun. But I literally went, I picked up the Glock 47, I racked it, I pulled the trigger, and we walked away. Because the Glock 47 uses the Glock 45 frame with the Glock 17 slide. It's capable of taking the Glock 19 slide, and it had the performance trigger in it, their new performance trigger. It felt good, but it's still the Glock. I'm a big Glock fan. Don't take me wrong, people listening to the podcast. It was just nothing that I really was dying to go see. I kind of already knew what it was before I put my hands on it. I wasn't like, ecstatic about the product. That's just me personally. I'm going to stick to my Glock 19 and that's it. Yeah, I love Glocks. I trust them more than any other gun with my life. I just didn't care about seeing this product at SHOT Show. There was other things I wanted to see. We'll keep it going. Here we're at the Hollow Sun booth. Controversy time. So Hollow Sun released a bunch of new products.
spent more time here than anything because of Ivan.
Yeah, so Holosun released a bunch of new products, and I think the one that was getting everybody going crazy was their new thermal optic.
Yes,
Let
that
me
thing
tell
is
you.
sick.
So this was my experience with the thermal optic. I went to the booth with Becca, and I went to go see the thermal optic, and there was a guy there with two other people who was saying, he literally said as we were walking up, "Oh, I'll show you the thermal optic." So we followed the two of them to this guy who had the gun with the thermal optic on it. And he had two other people with him. And the rep that was with us said to that guy, "Can I show them the thermal optic?" And he said, "It's still not on." So I asked, "What does that mean?" And he said, "We turned it on. It's been powering up for like 5 minutes. It's the only model we have here. It's still a prototype. So I don't really know what's going on, if it's going to turn on or not. It's having trouble powering up." To me, that gives me a little iffy feeling on that optic. There's a lot, they got to go back to the drawing boards and make sure everything's good to go before they start selling that product. And companies like B.E. Myers have been doing it already for years now. So I don't know what's going on there, but I don't think I'm going to drop my money on the first line of thermals from them till I make sure this thing is good to go and going to survive.
You never drop your money on the first line of things. It's the number one rule.
Depends where we are.
I know.
Vegas,
I don't
baby,
like dropping
Vegas.
my money on the first line. Oh God. Yeah, you and your. I feel
Plead
like
the
this
fifth.
entire trip, I was just kind of walking around and just like over your shoulder, just looking and watching the entire trip.
That's not true. You interacted, especially at the casino.
Yep, that's where I showed my expertise. Not at the gun
So here
shop.
I'm looking at the Staccato CS, the new Staccato.
Other way.
That thing was nice.
Trigger was real nice. It was a nice gun. Nice little carry 2011. Probably would never carry one, but it was a nice gun. That's
Gib.
what I will say about that.
Gib.
Now here I'm holding the Jericho from IWI Systems. IWI makes the Jericho. The reason I picked up the Jericho was because it was the first pistol I ever shot. I was in Israel, never shot a handgun before. First gun I ever shot was the Jericho. I remember that fondly. It was a cool experience. Here we're heading over to Magpul. This shit was awesome.
Me and my giant bag.
It's like you build out the shape. Look at this.
It's Mega Blocks for guns.
Legos pieces for everything.
So I was a big fan of that product. I thought that was badass because it allows you to have one case for multiple guns because you build it to each setup that you're using for that day, which is really cool. You don't have to have multiple setups or have multiple cases.
Yeah, Mega Blocks for kids.
That's
Mega
it.
Blocks for gun owners.
Yeah, it's badass. This was a cool product too, but I feel like I've seen this a lot, especially in video games. But I don't think this was new, and if it was new or anything about it was new, I didn't even notice.
It
But yeah.
was big in the airsoft community. The FPG 9. It was big in the airsoft. Like that's where it got most of its popularity, and then it got transferred. I think like Modern Warfare 3 for Call of Duty, and then you were able to use it in that game too. So it just got like very popular because it was like it was like the box gun, and it would turn into
Opened out, and yeah. I can see
So
that.
it was like the 3-ounce pistol that we looked at. It's the same concept.
Oh, that was another thing that fucking we'll talk about it. There's videos of it in this. I like the concept more than I actually like it. This is a Dylan press, the XL750. I want to get this one day when I have room for it and start loading, do my own reloads or hand loads. Really smooth. It was nice. Nothing new, just really nice. This was cool. I just took a video of this because I thought it was awesome that, we're here for SHOT Show and you see trucks like that driving around.
My Vector.
There's your Chris Vector with the insanely long. Is that the Osprey suppressor?
Yeah, I think Becca was just recording me because I was just having so much fun with it.
Yeah, dude. That's exactly what's happening. This was a Firebird. It's an explosive pyrotechnic target, but it doesn't have the same It doesn't have the same ingredients, I'll say, as some of the other things do. So interesting stuff. Keep it rolling.
This thing was cool.
This thing was cool,
This
but
thing
also
was cool.
gimmicky. I don't know when you would need this. It was a way of making it more convenient for you to load your ammo. But I dump all my ammo into ammo cans and just load it by hand because I'm not a bitch. So I don't know when. It was cool. I just don't know why you would need this thing, but it was fun to look at. It kind of made you, it was satisfying, as the influencers on YouTube say. Satisfying. You know, everything's got to be, oh, so satisfying. That's what this was. Some random shit now we're just going to see. It was a good show overall, though, man. I had a lot of fun, and I wasn't even there for the full show. So it was a good time, man. I you know, we couldn't even get to everything. We were so busy. Oh, here's the product I just want to shit on. I want to fucking take a giant shit on that product. So let me play that back.
Wait, which one? I was
This
gonna say,
is-
what was that?
This is Smart Guns. This is a 1911 that costs
Oh, yeah.
$2,500, and it only works if you have an RFID ring on that gun. It's for that gun in that same hand as the ring. So many issues with this product. Someone wants to use that gun to help you. For example, I pull that gun out to shoot somebody, I get shot, gun goes down, they can't use it because they don't have the ring, right? So now I got to buy one of the, he's like, oh, we can give you multiple rings. So now every one of my friends that I go hang out with has to have one of these rings just in case they need to use my gun. If this hand stops working and I want to go to this hand, it won't work because the ring's on this hand. So now another reason I can't use that gun. And his whole claim is peace of mind, you know, that you can leave it at home and you don't have to worry about your kids being able to hurt themselves. How about lock your gun up and educate everybody so you don't have to deal with these fucking problems with stupid fucking products? What are you going to say?
He was very adamant on getting into like the soccer mom or the shooter mom market. Like he didn't care. They weren't trying to market towards people like us. They wanted it for moms. Like he kept on saying the moms.
But he's like trying to,
He has a MILF fetish.
He clearly has a milk fetish. You know what it was? He was trying to, like, the way he was saying that, I can see him talking to moms and trying to scare them. Like, what if your kid gets your gun? This is your answer. Drop $2,500 on this gun and your kid will never be able to hurt themselves. Like, you're not fixing a real problem. You're trying to scare people into buying your product. Educate children, educate adults. There's your answer. Like, enough with these fucking fake products that are going to help people stay safe. This is horseshit. You can get a regular 1911, or better yet, you can buy a fucking Glock and teach yourself how to fucking use it and teach your kid how to use it. And you don't need shit like this.
I was waiting for that. Buy a fucking Glock every goddamn time, Brett. I'm gonna we should make that into a goddamn freaking patch. Buy a fucking Glock, Brett.
Dude, I think I need 2 t-shirts made up. One says buy a fucking Glock, and the other one says, do your dry fire. This is the way, with a Mandalorian on it.
Do your dry fire. This is a threat.
This is a threat. No, this is
a threat.
Oh my God. So this company was cool. Tier 1 tactical. Only reason I'm saying they were cool is because they gave me glasses and gloves, and they told me to T&E it and get back to them because they're just entering into the law enforcement market, or, you know, the gun world. They were previously in the construction world. So I'm gonna T&E their products and get back to them. So that's pretty cool. Not complaining about free shit. Let you guys know if it's any good. And you know me, I'm not gonna fucking lie. If it's crap, I'll tell you it's fucking crap. Don't get it. So I already gave them some feedback before I even tried them on about it. So we'll see what happens. This is notch hats. You can wear your sunglasses with your hat. Now, this is a product that's interesting. So you're in a state that's only allowed to have a 10-round magazine. It's kind of couplers that your magazines can stay attached, and they actually make a quad one. So you can have 4 magazines attached at the same time. And they were saying that these are all reversible, unlike some of the other ones that are on the market. So you can go front, back, front, back. So, you know, however you want to orient your grip, you know, however you want to practice your rounds are facing the direction you want. Something cool, you know, how far it will go, I don't necessarily know. We'll have to see if it's any good of a product, but it's possible. Here's something I really liked. Not so much these trauma packs, but they were sharing a booth with Door Jam, and I'm a big fan of Door Jam. And I have some here. They had some giveaways, police, ambulance, and it's basically, if you could see this, It goes on each end of the doorknob, blocking the springy, hingy part. I don't know what that's fucking called to stop a door from
The
locking
door
on
hinge?
you. I don't think it's the hinge, the other side, the part that goes into the plate.
I could swear it's the hinge. Is it not?
I don't know. The thing when you turn the doorknob goes in and out like a fucking. I'm not gonna say what. But anyway, it goes over that to block it. You can put it on push bars. It stretches really far. Really good tool to mark doorways, let you know where police have been, etc. This was a cool product. It was called Soak, all food grade, alternative to pepper spray, supposedly safe and doesn't affect the user or other people. It only affects the person that was sprayed. And you can use it in places, like he said, inside of a cruiser, in tight environments. It doesn't affect everyone else, just the person sprayed. It also only lasts for 5 minutes, where OC, as I know, lasts for an hour easy. And then you feel it again in the shower. This doesn't. It only lasts for 5 minutes, enough time to get somebody in cuffs. So cool product. I don't want to be the person to get sprayed and test it myself. I've been through enough pain when it comes to things in my eyes, like pepper.
You should have seen me with the glove.
It's coming up. Don't worry. That's in here. Everyone will get to see that.
No.
And also, they had something else here too, a little door stop thing that can stop the door from being opened from the inside. But unlike some of the other, door lock devices out there, this one can be override underneath the door by someone with an actual tool. And that tool is serialized and only sold to municipalities. So they know who has them out there. No one out there is going to have this tool that shouldn't. It's a cool idea for schools and stuff. This was a cool little thing. They had little canine vests.
I
like
love
have
this one.
for Louis. And this is actually a great time to show you guys. One of the giveaways as part of this package, and these are going to be available for purchase if you guys want, is this little sticker I have coming out, available now. It's me and Louis, my little fur missile.
Can you see it? No, you can't. I have it on my laptop.
Oh, you do? You have yours on your laptop? Yeah. So only a few people have these now, but these are actually going to be publicly available now. And Louis is going to have a little camouflage vest from these guys that's going to match the sticker. So you guys can get these stickers and Ricochet Report stickers. And these two are going to be actually part of this giveaway that we have a whole bunch of stuff here, and we'll get to that soon. But yeah, cool stuff that we're doing over here. And you can see
I gotta say, this sticker is much more handsome.
Which sticker?
The sticker you just showed, it's much more handsome. Like it's not one for one.
It's not true to oh, just hurting feelings. It hits deep. That hits deep. By the way, I'll take this time to do a shameless plug. These shooting jerseys are available. If you want one, just DM me. They take a little while because they're custom made, but you get your name on the back. And it says you're part of the shooting team. And you can be. Just buy a jersey and go shoot. You don't have to be local to us. Go shoot, and you can rep the Ricochet Report wherever you are. So that's some cool stuff. Here's Daniel Defense. I run a Daniel Defense Mark 18. Big fan of it. Nothing really new or special or whatever. So just moving on, nothing to really talk about regarding that. Here's some EOTech optics, guys. Just so you know, we have EOTech in our store, Trinity Training Complex. We're running a great sale on EOTechs right now. So if you want to pick up an EOTech optic, everything from the eFlex, the EXPS 3-0, the variables, 1x6, 1x8, 1x10, we have them in store. Great sale going on. So hit us up if you're interested in picking up an EOTech. This thing I actually was trying to take off, and I actually locked it. It wasn't locked. I locked it accidentally. He had to unlock it then for us. But this was a cool little package. I couldn't figure out how to fold the stock, so I felt a little stupid for a little bit there. But cool little gun. See here, you see me trying to fold the stock, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Cool little sub gun though.
Oh,
Nice.
This was your day two.
This was my day two. We weren't together anymore at this point. Here I was messing with a little 40 mil action, a little 40 mic action. That was fun. Just cool stuff. Day two for me was a lot shorter. Obviously I was leaving. I had to get to the airport. I wasn't there for very long at all at SHOT Show this year. So day two was not a lot of walking around. It was more targeting specific vendors that we had business meetings set up with. and clients that we were already working with that we had to meet up with and touch base with. And that has to do with something that you see over here in the background. And we'll get to that when you actually see that going on. This was really cool, dude. That product was these fucking underwater bags. It protects your electronics, rated to go down to at least 200 feet. Also protected your electronics from hacking. I don't know how, but I used some sort of RFID protecting chip shit. I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. But cool shit. And it was actually really affordable. It wasn't one of those products that was expensive. It was like fucking maybe $20 tops for like the big model, I think. I don't know, but cool stuff. I'm going to see if we can get those for Trinity. I think those would be cool items to have in the shop. So we'll see where that goes. This was some fucking rigging and rock climbing shit. I don't know anything about that life. Okay, Blue Force gear, IFAC for your belt. Big fan of this. Nice little tight package. It goes inside of a sleeve like you see right behind it. It has a pull tab on either side, so it goes in the small of your back. And no matter which side you grab, whichever arm is not affected, you can pull and get your med out. And then you have your full IFAC minus a tourniquet, which your tourniquet should be placed elsewhere so you can get to it sooner than your rest of your IFAC. Strike Industries. This is one I was waiting for it to come up for a while. Here, they use the SIG 320 and build a badass chassis, housing, whatever you want to call for it. This one's not on the market yet. This one's still in production, but the one right there behind it to the right of that one on the wall is available. Just a badass chassis for a SIG 320. I thought this was a really, really fucking cool package that they had. And Strike Industries gave me this thing also. This was fucking sick, dude. Check this out. This is an AirTag holder that mounts to your fucking rail on your rifle and has a proprietary key, so it can't be taken out easily. You'd have to use a tool of some sort to get it out. And that's pretty cool to think that if your rifle went missing, you have an AirTag attached to it. I like that idea. I like that concept a lot. So I thought that was badass. Here, I think this was, Franklin Armory's slide conversion kit for a Glock 17 Gen 3 is all they're making right now. They don't know what's coming next, but basically, if you're not familiar with binary triggers, pull the trigger once, it goes off, release the trigger, it goes off again. So you're getting one round on the pull, one round on the release, and it has a switch from semi-auto to binary, and you actually can flip the switch right there on the slide, and on the plate on the back, it actually tells you if you're in semi-auto or binary mode, which is pretty cool. So, I didn't get to shoot.
Fire for pistols.
So bump fire is a little different. It's binary for a pistol. One on the pull, one on the release, where bump fire would be constantly on the pull, just a device helping you with that pull, I guess. This was cool. This was like a target that you drive around and stuff on the range. But what was cool about this is the target actually falls over and dies on its own. It reacts to not only bullets, but tasers, pepper spray. It's got sensors in the body that cause it to go down like it on its own, which is pretty cool. And it's programmable. And the body with the sensors is only $100. So if that dummy gets really fucking Swiss cheese by you shooting it all day, you can replace it for $100, which is pretty cheap for technology like that. So that's pretty badass that they had that. And they also had general spinning targets, rotate in, rotate out. And they were showing us a regular RC car remote to drive that thing around. So it's not rocket science. We stopped by the B.E. Myers booth for a little bit. Didn't really spend too much time there. Already knew what they were making. Just badass shit that I can't afford. So you see a close up of the mall there, and then there's a mall on a rifle. That looks real nice. There was a company actually on that flashlight that I just passed that was doing a giveaway on that product. I guess I didn't win because I didn't get a call, but they were doing that giveaway with a raffle, so that was cool. Manted Events, they make suppressor covers so you can protect yourself from the heat. This was a funny video. I'm gonna put the sound on.
We don't do that, no. We make the covers that really stand for standing gun.
Right, no, yeah.
Okay. Do you think this is big enough purse?
I honestly don't remember which company made this bag, or these bags, I should say. This one was just obviously for the show. This
I think
is
it'll
real.
fit everything.
But they actually made a nice duffel I wanted to pick up. I just don't remember what it was. This was actually the thermal optics that I really like. Bearing Optics, they were doing a giveaway too. This is thermal optics that are actually cool thermal optics. This one's rated for a 308. I thought these were really fucking nice. Yeah, that's just badassery right there. This was cool, man. This was real cool. Radian Weapons, Radian something. Radian is all I remember really about them. They make a plate that mounts to, right now it's just for the MOS Glocks, and it's going to be for actual footprints soon. But they make a plate that drops in with a kind of window that protects your optics. So when you're racking off of it and banging into shit, it's protecting the glass, and also has a built-in rear sight, so you don't have to go about cutting and mounting for all that. Really fucking cool.
Oh yeah,
idea.
I saw this. It was actually really. I like that it moves the rear sight like in front of the optic.
Yeah,
That way
yeah,
if
I
it
like that
goes
too, as
out,
opposed to
you don't
behind
gotta
the
worry about.
glass. Yeah, yeah, I like that a lot too. I thought this was this was actually an innovative product. It was a badass idea. I like it a lot.
It was and it was simple. It's very simple.
Very simple, very simple, very simple, very cool, very useful. I'm a big fan of this one. I like it a lot. And even though I beat the shit out of my RMRs, why not protect it with a tool that takes up barely any extra space? Probably is going to work in all your same holsters, etc. So, big fan of this one. I thought it was really fucking cool. Let's see what else they got. Oh, here we go. This is the 3-ounce gun. It's a little folding 22, holds 10 shots. I want to get one in my hands and actually test it to see if it's actually reliable, a successful gun. I'm not a big fan in general when you have to do something to your gun before you can use it. I like to just pull my gun out and be able to use it. And there you saw it takes a little bit of practice. Becca couldn't open it correctly right away, and neither could I. I think you also struggled with opening it right away the correct way, getting it to spring completely open and ready to use. Yes, it takes practice. It's something that's new.
Yeah, because it's not like a spring to ready. It's like a spring to half ready.
Yeah, it is. You're right. And you gotta like mechanically override that to the rest of the way, like she did there, by pinching it though. You know, it is what it is. This is cool. Pavashot. I've seen them on Instagram before, Facebook. They make these pens and batons that fire a pepper ball that bursts when it hits the target. So you can, use pepper at a distance greater than what you can now, which is like 12 feet. And they also make a grenade version, which is like a pepper aerosol that you can throw into a room. I think it's on a 3-second delay. We have different ways of deploying pepper than you normally used to. Pretty cool. I think the product's really cool. I want to get my hands on some of those and test them out also. Oh, there you see the inside of the 3-ounce gun. I asked him about maintenance, how easy it is. He claims he's an engineer. Well, he is an engineer. He claims he designed this to be self-cleaning. I don't know how well it can self-clean, being that it's a 22 long rifle. Very fucking dirty round. But it is possible. So we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, that's a gun I'll have to get my hands on. We'll have to see for ourselves how well it actually works, and find out on our own. Duracoat. I've used Duracoat before. I've also just used Rust-Oleum. I've had great success with both of them on rattle canning guns for fun, and I'm not looking to bake anything in my ovens at home with Cerakote. So those were my options that I went about, and they worked pretty successfully. Accuracy International had some badassery set up on the walls. I don't own any of their stuff. I don't think I can afford it, but they make some really nice stuff. Dude, Condor, not a fan of their shit. I'm surprised how big their booth was, man. I really am. I think Condor is like airsoft quality stuff, not real world quality stuff. I don't know how well it can survive, real world application. Maybe it can. I don't know. You'd probably know more. Oh, there you go. You got Condor shit. Did you pick that up at the booth?
Yeah,
did you pick that
so
up at the booth, or you already
the
owned
second
it?
day I got, they were giving it out for free, and I needed a bag for the second day, so I took it. But yeah, honestly, Condor is very hit or miss. So depending on what you like, their pouches, like a lot of airsoft companies will use Condor because it's affordable, like pouches and things like that. But depending on what you get, if you get some of like the simpler stuff, like the closed top mag pouches, the GP pouches, the admin pouches, they give you very basic stuff, and they will last like a while. Like I was using 4 closed top M4 style pouches, like that were Condor on a airsoft vest I had for like a couple of years, and it lasted pretty well.
All right,
but I
that's
wouldn't
cool.
use it on real steel gear.
Yeah, I got you. I mean, I walked past the booth. Becca took a video. I just kept walking. That's just me personally, though. That's me reacting to sunglasses because I love sunglasses. This guy turns guns into inert weapons. I really want to get inert and an inert RPG. I think it would be a badass background. So like something in the background as while I'm doing, YouTube shit, I guess. So I just want to buy an inert RPG. I thought it would be badass. This guy, they make 50 cals and they make uppers that drop on AR lowers that you can shoot a 50 BMG. The thing that was interesting is they said the ATF classified their uppers as actual firearms. So if you were to buy a full gun from them, it's two separate serial numbers. Yeah, so that's interesting to me. But they make semi-automatic and bolt action 50 cals with magazines if you'd like them too. Pretty fucking cool design. The magazine's actually on the side next to your lower receiver. These guys made targets that spun, tilted, etc., reactive to rounds actually being fired. So you can program them with sensors to turn into play, and then when they get shot, they turn back out of play. Pretty cool. Here you see they're demonstrating the motion sensor. The guy passes it. The targets go into display. You fire, they go back out. Pretty cool design. You can set the sensors to go off at different speeds and how long they last for, etc. It was cool. I could see it being useful in shoot house environments, but it would. It's a costly investment, and I think they said it only works with live fire right now. I don't know if it would work with UTM and stuff like that, so I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, this is another clip from the Hollow Sun booth. Just checking out one of their optics. That was actually, it was right there when right after that, I went to go look at the thermal, and that's when they told me about the issue they were having with it at that point in time. All right, here we are at the Trango Systems, at Trango's booth. So Trango is an Israeli company. They make the modular walls that we use in our facility at Trinity. Here you see, this is actually a prototype target that we're working on with them. Reactive target that actually, you'll see it in a second in this video. I'm still in the prototyping phase. That's why I have it here with me. I took it back with me from Vegas. He flew next to me and coach, and we were going over some ideas and stuff. Now this was a cool one. I don't know if you saw this. This was Inverus. They made 3 different products. This one is actually a vest and goggles that go on you, and you're in a 3D simulator that you're walking through CQB environments, and you can actually see these white targets on that wall are engaging with him. You'll see that one behind the red wall turn and shoot at him, and he takes it down and it falls. So you're actually seeing first person and third person what he's doing, which was pretty badass here, rescuing hostages and stuff like that. Pretty fucking cool stuff. They also had another simulator that Chris was trying out, which was just a goggle system and a gun and light and stuff like that. And you can do all different kinds of scenarios. I'll actually put the sound on for that one. It's worth hearing.
So keep the headset on. Yep.
Just a general environment off the internet.
Right.
Our engineers map everything and put incredible detail in. So the Reagan exterior and interior, for example, these are exact replicas of the actual buildings in DC. Yep. So if I put you in that, and if you've been there in real life, it looks the same. You're actually there. So you'll see we have all these environments to pick from, multiple school environments, corrections environments for prison staff and jail staff as well. So go ahead, Mike. This is the environments he's talking about.
So once you select an environment,
you have a suspect, Caucasian male, but we also have domestic violence for DV scenarios, hostage situation, jail environment, suicidal, traffic stop, and vagrant. So we'll just do criminal suspect, Caucasian male. And we'll click continue. We could do a second suspect. I'll just click continue for now. We'll start with one suspect. So now, and again, this is there's very few buttons to hit. It's very user friendly, very intuitive. I joke that I'm not a computer guy at all, which is true. So if I can operate this for teaching the marksmanship capabilities, you just want to.
So yeah, so that was the simulator where you could drop in all these different things, and they said they've even used it for crime scene training, not even live fire or training firearm scenarios. You could put blood splatter. You can have them interact, talk in different voices. They can say slurs. They can curse. They can do a whole bunch of different things. They can react to what you do based off programming. You can put different angles of cars and stuff. And then this is actually, they used to be called FATS, which is what my department uses, Firearm Training Simulator. and this is the range that they had, and we were shooting on their virtual range for a little bit, and it was pretty cool too because it actually told you where your muzzle was the entire time when you started to prep the trigger, and then also when you actually pulled the trigger, so you could actually see all the different when you were using the trigger, when you weren't, when you were prepping it, when you weren't. It's pretty cool to trace that. That was nice technology. We like that a lot, especially from a competition standpoint.
Me and Joe had that conversation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the Marine Corps uses something similar, and back in the day it was FATS, but now it's different. It's called ISMIT, where basically it's essentially the same thing, but it uses air-powered rifles to simulate the recoil, and it has the target on the screen that you could shoot at using lasers and stuff like that. So that's the new thing now.
That's the new thing that they're using. So you're familiar with FATS then too, because that's what we still use where I work.
Yeah, it's just different now. Like if I could find my old pictures from when I was in Quantico, because I have pictures of it, because I used to run the ISMIT at my old reserve unit because I got trained on it, because I had to help basically everyone practice for range day. So I would be doing the different phases of the phase one. We'll just call it phase one. Phase one was basically your marksmanship, like shooting at like 200, 300, 400, 200, 300, and 500. So I would have to set it up. They have the actual recoil because you could either use it through CO2 connected tube or through CO2 connected mags. It's just more. It's now more 4-dimensional than FATS. Let's say that.
All right, cool. I like it. This is the part I'm really excited for. I'll put the sound back on. You got to try out the glove, or I should say, someone got to try out the glove on you.
Yeah, twice.
So I've seen this product before, and what this product is it's your ability to, I guess, control someone with the less lethal option of something similar to a taser. And the reason I say similar to a taser is because taser is actually a name brand. But it's a glove with a stun ability capable within the palm and or the fingers. I'm not entirely sure. I guess you would know.
No, so there's 2 leads on the hand. So you have like a positive lead up here and then like a negative lead down here. And then both leads have to touch the skin
the contact,
for it to activate.
Right. So it is on the palm area. Okay. And yeah, and it's cool because you can still handle metal handcuffs and things like that while wearing these gloves. So pretty cool. And somehow Ivan convinced you to go through it twice.
No, I volunteered the first time, and then he asked if I want to do it a second time, so I did. I got a pin for it.
You're an animal, man. An animal. Absolute animal, because I would not have done this once, let alone twice. It's got to be the Marine in you coming out.
That's what Ivan said.
I'm going to hold your skin so you can see that it's not going to transfer to me. If I had a partner on the other side, we're going to do it. You decide to resist me, so I'm going to hold you and say, Nicholas, all right, can you pull away from me a little bit?
Dude, you went down like a sack of potatoes. You hit the ground hard. And I like the second scenario that he set up here, where he had you on the ground with your arms tucked underneath your body, refusing to, give your arms up to get cuffs on somebody, which is very common. People lay on their arms, put their full weight on top of them. And that is a problem, trying to get them out, trying to use batons, trying to pry them out using certain techniques, or trying to set up those triangles.
Way under like your lip. There you go. Okay, what happens here when we're out in the field, we're trying to cuff up Nicholas and he's refusing to put his arms out. What happens is people are striking him, shoving his head into the ground, taking my baton, jamming it between his arms, trying to open him up. All these video cameras are creating a lot of lawsuits because of this. We're trying to solve that. Keep from hurting him, and keep from hurting me, and keep my job. Okay? So I'm going to bring his legs together because I don't want him to turn on me. I'm going to tell him, Nicholas, put your hands out, put your hands out, put your hands out.
Don't think I didn't catch that one either. You want to do it again?
Ivan's an animal. That's awesome. This is Blue Ops.
Oh wow, that's cool.
This was another laser dry fire trainer.
Okay.
That was pretty badass. This one was cool because it uses an app and you can interact with your friends and train against them and do it from the comfort of your own home. So this was really cool. And they're setting up a whole bunch of drills that you could get. And yeah, so this was really cool. It had drills like this one was El Presidente. You could program your own drills into it. It had active shooter drills, etc. And there's just a magazine that drops into your guns. That was badass. Here's Mean. They hit me up on Instagram too. I wanted to hang out with those guys. So they had a few different things that came out. Their new AR9 upper with their proprietary bolt.
Don't get my face. I have a face for radio.
They're showing their chips, which I've used in the past.
It causes malfunction.
It basically causes
like a double feed style malfunction, so that you have to drop the magazine and clear it out in order to continue shooting. So it's really, really cool tools that you can use to train. And I think they said you can load up to 5 in one magazine at a time, which is pretty cool. And you can load each other's magazines, so you don't know when that malfunction is going to happen. That's their social media guy right there, by the way. That's the dude who hit me up. I think we're going to try to get them on the podcast too. That'll be really cool.
I think they said okay to that, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. They're bad. They're really, really nice guys, man. Most of the people at ShotJoy are really nice guys. I mean, if you're not going to be nice to people that are interested in your products, you're in the wrong business. Oh, here you could see the app. I was just talking about Blue Ops. So you can see the apps. It shows you your actual scores, your splits on your trigger, etc. It's pretty cool stuff, honestly. I was a big fan of this one. So that's something I'll be looking into also. Here we're very familiar with this shit. This is UTM. We use this shit at our facility. It's one of our NLTA items.
Is that a 7.62 one? Was that 7.62?
I did not see, honestly. I'm not sure. Here is Mike Roroni's answer to people that have pistol mounted optics. There's a cutout on the top. This was awesome. I got to drive this little fucking freaky robot dog around, which was badass.
The doggy.
Yeah, this was really cool, man. I didn't think he'd actually let me drive it. And then I was like, is that thing easy to drive? And he's like, here. And he handed me the remote and he was like, yeah, you can make it sit, whatever. And he was walking me how to do all those things and very easy to do. It actually felt like an Xbox controller, like the joysticks and the buttons did. It was a little bit larger, like an iPad size, but it was the tactile wise, it felt like that. This was a weird vehicle. Don't know what for. Oh, here we are going through the Trango systems. I think it's myself and we have Joe going through it also. This was cool. So some reactive targets and they're still in the works, guys. So they might look a little different by the time you see them. Whether you come to the shop or you try them live somewhere local to you. These KWA airsoft guns kept fucking failing on me. Like, I don't know if it was the gas or what was going on, but these things were not fucking working. Here you can see the gun going down. We tried fixing it over and over. They just were not fucking working. This was badass. I got Bob on an interview with these guys that were working with law enforcement today and some other cool organizations. This was big. You know, this was cool for him to be able to get Trinity's name out there with some great organizations. So that was really awesome. And Patty set this interview up. Patty has her own podcast. Go check it out, guys. It's called Wake Up with Patty, I believe is the name of it. I hope I didn't just say the wrong thing. I'm pretty sure that's it. But yeah, she unfortunately last minute couldn't make it to SHOT. She had an injury that happened. I don't want to go into depth with that because it's not my business to talk about, but we hope she's feeling better. And we miss you. And here it is. Yeah, Wake Up with Patty. There it is. I'll show up close. Wake Up with Patty Catter on Apple. There it is, right there. She's got a very popular podcast, so check it out. She was able to set that interview up for us, which was big. So let's see what's coming up next. I didn't realize how long.
So wait, you said the KWA guns weren't working well when you were using them for the Trango demonstration?
Yeah, they literally both times just filled it up with fresh green gas or whatever and had no luck. Like it kept going down.
I was gonna say, I was talking to one of the guys there, I was talking to him about Trinity, and he told me that I said I was trying to convince Chris to switch over to airsoft guns instead of the paint pistols. So he gave me a catalog showing me the new ATP style, which basically was like a Sig 320 or 36 or whatever. And I looked at him. I go, yeah, we're gonna do, yeah. I'll bring it up to him, whatever. Because like, but if pre-pandemic they were great, but post-pandemic their quality of all their stuff went down.
Really?
So
Well, there you go. There you go. There you have it.
Yeah, that's why I was like kind of like, yeah, I'll tell him, and then like I'm not going to show it. Like I'll bring it to Chris if he wants to look into it, but a lot of the stuff that he told me that we could use was not even coming out yet, and it's probably never going to come out.
It's true.
Ever.
It's true.
They teased me with a gas MP40. I wanted it. I asked him where is it. He said, "Oh, we're not making them." I go, "You suck."
Here you can see the Trango guy coming with us, leaving. Here I am with Crispy,
Chris, right?
Bravo. Yeah, I know you got a pic with him too.
He
He's
DMs
awesome.
me on Instagram.
I know, I saw that. It was badass. And here we were at a Brazilian steakhouse. It's the whole team hanging out, having dinner. Everyone, well, not everyone from Trinity, but everyone that was at SHOT Show from Trinity is here. And we had a badass time. And that's basically the recap of SHOT Show. A lot of fun, awesome trip. And I can't wait till next year so we can do it all over again. So on that note, let's go. How do I stop share? All right, man. So I appreciate you coming on the show. It was an awesome show. I know it was a lengthy one. We had a lot to go over, but man, thanks for coming on the show. And we'll have to get back on soon and do a little bit more talking about some gun stuff and not recap, but more about the training that we're doing at Trinity and stuff like that.
The medical stuff, that's going to be a lot of fun because
absolutely.
think one of the most important things that you ever said that I really took to heart was if you are going to make holes, you should know how to plug holes too, which I thought was and that's something I tell people a lot now.
No, I appreciate that, man. I didn't coin that phrase. I don't know where I heard it. It's, I guess, one of those phrases that gets around the industry, but man, medical gear and medical knowledge is way more important than gunfighting knowledge and gunfighting gear. And gunfights happen in two directions. So you got to be able to fix your shit. Let's talk about this giveaway real quick. We have a ton of shit we got from SHOT Show. I got this hat. I got this Pop Smoke patch. I got this Howard Light little card holder for your phone. I have a couple of lanyards here. I have one of these IWI zipper pulls. That's great. I got this keychain here from Blue Ops. I have a proper patch. I have these two little guns. I don't even remember the company, but they're a little patch. I got Glock Safe Action sticker. This company, they made those accessories from LA, those guys. I got a Pop Smoke Media sticker here. I don't remember where we got this, but it's fucking, that's awesome. And then lastly, I have a Trinity Training Complex sticker. I have a Ricochet Report sticker, and I have me and Louie. The way to enter into this giveaway, we're actually going to make a post on social media. You have to comment on that post by tagging 2 friends. You have to follow myself at the Ricochet Report, and you have to follow at Nick Likes Guns and Weights. I say that correctly?
Yeah,
awesome.
Nick likes guns and weights. Easy.
Nick Like Guns and Weights. Follow both of us on Instagram. You have to be following both of us. Like the post, comment by and tag 2 friends in the comment. And you enter for a chance to win all this shit. So if you didn't get to go to SHOT Show, there's some cool stuff that you could win. Some little, little cool souvenirs, nothing crazy, but it's our way of saying thanks for listening to this episode. And until next time, keep training and stay safe. Take care, guys. Nick, thanks for coming on the show.